just to cut me down. Say my name just to spit it out. Does it feel better now? So tell me where did we go wrong along the way? What happened to the purpose? 'Cause it feels worthless now. There's nothing left to say. 'Cause every time I tell myself that you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again. Will you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again. Will you follow me? We won't leave it to chance. We can't write our romance. We'll never be the same again.
Free.
You girl. Yeah. Oh, boys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello, and welcome all you weebs to the Grappling of the Week show, the only show that brings you the hottest wrestling news and highlights from the steamy kitchens of NXT to the gritty, fast-paced action of AEW. We talk about it all and give you a nice, good old big discussion piece to truly satisfy that hunger of wrestling content. Brought to you, of course, and hosted by the Weebs of the Ring. Let's go ahead and stomp a mud hole into this week because, by gosh, has it been a week? Whether you're working, whether you're trying to enjoy content, it's been a rough week all around, I think, for everybody. So let's just kind of sit back, chill, relax, grab yourself a hearty beverage or, some water because water's also important for everybody to live, ride, and survive. But yeah, having a good Thursday so far. Hopefully you are as well. If you're here live with us, that's great. That's awesome. That's fantastic. I love to see you guys here live. But if you're listening to the VOD or the audio version of this podcast, hey, love to hear it from you. Love to see from you. Let us know in any comments or chats how you doing tonight and all that. And of course, we love to see all you new faces around here. But you new faces, you may not know exactly who we are besides being called the Weebs of the Ring. Well, of course, I am your reigning, defending, undisputed, universal heavyweight champion of the world, Whawkins. I'm going to be your guide this evening, this week, for Grappling with the Week. Going to guide you all through the fun discussions we have, and especially some fun comments made by a certain bald man that looks like a Greek god that went into Norse mythology. But we'll hit that road when we cross it. Of course, I'm joined by my other two co-hosts. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the visionary, the revolutionary, the one that stands Goldberg to no end, to the point where he is close, ladies and gentlemen, to shaving his head and bashing his head against the wall before going into work. And if you know, you know, because that's what Goldberg does before every single match. But ladies and gentlemen, it is Legend D Vash. Vash, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Like, you saying shave my head. I did shave my beard a bit, and I'm just impressed with the straight line that I did. Like, I just gotta give a shout out to myself, like improving on my line work. Because hey, I don't know who said that I'm shaving my head, because that actually ain't happening anytime soon. I just gotta tell my wife that I will shave my 11-year growth long head I've done when I get like 1 million subs, and that's not happening anytime soon. So until then, this head is not being shaved into a bald head one. I did tell wife a couple of days ago, hey, your Latino, he wants to shave his hair, go down his hair from like how long it is to like a 3 or 5, but that's just a random thought. My wife was like, hell no. And I'm like, I know the answer. I just, was throwing it out there. But
not to go into a tangent, but I mean, just for comparison, Vash, I get my hair is usually at a 7. So this is normally a 7.
Yeah.
This short for 7. You say you want a 3.
So when I met, sorry,
like
A 7 then. So 7. It's like
I was gonna be
still
like,
have
wait a
left,
minute.
just not that short. Yo,
Like,
bro, guys, before I was 18, I used to have shorter hair than this man. Walker, that's how
Yeah.
Vash used to look. Long hair, who? That was a big question. Now, Vash, that's a whole different thing. Vash, for the past 11
Yeah.
years that have existed as a content creator, who? Long hair. But enough speaking
Yep.
about the HBK character that I did in, 2008 2KO, 2K of WE back then. That was my persona of HBK. But it's your boy Latino here, Eddie Guerrero out here, not the Goldberg Stan. Excited to talk about this week pro wrestling, this week content that's safe to watch in the future, and maybe come back next week or 2 weeks from now during grappling, give you guys the thoughts about what happened in those set shows and what highlights has come instead of you hearing it on the Twitter or hearing a whole paragraph and then a picture instead of you actually, watching the show. It's just, news outlet or news reports, just giving you little clickbait stuff instead. Hey, tomato, it depends which one you want. But I know without alone. Who else are we here with?
Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to help us process some of these fun stories, I guess, that came out this week, especially the one that we're going to have as our hot topic. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the genius of the mat himself. Drop this box. Drop, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, we were teasing this on Monday when it came to our big hot topic that we're going to be talking about today. So that should be interesting once we fully dive into it, because we wanted to save our thoughts for this show specifically so we had more room to talk about it. That's why we teased it a little bit so you guys could see exactly what we were gonna talk about tonight. But other than that, though, I am doing good, and I am very excited for this month. Definitely is not related to wrestling, but something completely different. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to these topics tonight.
Yeah, just know, everybody, if you're going to go out alone at night, don't go out alone at night. Go with a buddy, go with a friend, go with your dog, go with your cat. Well, maybe not your cat. I don't know. They might get eaten by a demi-dog, but that's besides the point. Just make sure you don't end up in the upside down. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, well, you got like 3 weeks to catch up and join everybody else on that train. But we're not here to talk about...
I was going to say, be careful that you might have an exorcism in your head. Or it might not be in your head, and you're watching it live in your trailer that you live in, and you might get accused of probably killing somebody the next day at work. I'm just assuming, because we haven't seen the episode yet, so I don't know. Who knows?
Well, you haven't, but that's for a whole other time. So, we're not going to enter some stranger things right now, because the strangest thing we have tonight is to kind of get into just some quick turnbuckle tidbits. Again, this is the part of the show. It's kind of like a nice little icebreaker to get us, warmed up for the evening and all that. But hey, when we're dealing with the vast world of professional wrestling, it is good to warm up your mind, body, and soul. So join the team as we go through any highlights from the past week, from podcast snippets to wrestling promotions outside of WWE or NXT. So Vash, why don't you go ahead and start us off with what you've got going on for your wrestling little show and tell, I guess.
So for my show and tell chat for this week, I don't really have much. I've been busy editing a couple of stuff, short form content like you guys been seeing over the media of the company of Animal Studio, connected with Weebs in the Ring, and brainstorming many other stuff. But haven't consumed anything pro wrestling related. I've seen if you follow Anime Lady Podcast, your boy has a save playlist. If you, in case, on YouTube, you could save for later, or you can make your own new playlist. I just have save for later. I added the Maxi Dupree, Grayson Waller interview by Chris Van Vliet, and don't know when I watch it, but I did save for later. I know I have a bad habit of not actually watching the content that I save for future. I'll do better on that. However, I did see something cool of the clip. I didn't see the full context NXT, the whole 2-hour show, but I did see a cool clip of Kalani Jordan during her NXT segment of her hyping up TNA. There was a report as well about Mike Santana talking about how he feels about TNA, the whole locker room, just being all type of motivated to chase the belt, to chase the gold. I really like that. Not sure if that's throwing shade towards the NXT superstar, saying that they're taking the mantle of the belts, or having the TNA superstars kind of get more eyes on them is what's helping them for the company. So it's like a pick and share of which one you want to see on the perspective. But I really enjoyed that from Kalani, to see how she's grown from the NXT superstar that she is, to from getting the North American title to not getting the main title of TNA. That's really cool to see her grow as a character. She still needs the. I feel like she's missing a piece out of that puzzle to kind of complete her. So I'm really curious to see if she's gonna find that during the process. Is what I see her as a character. I feel like she's missing that one small piece, but not a huge deal. She still is. She still is hitting it on all cylinders. I feel like there's an extra gear for her to go through, and then right before she goes to a main roster type of worthy. But other than that, that's all consumed for NXT and pro wrestling related this week. I didn't see the interviews I want to jump into, just been very busy on my end. But hopefully next week I got more, but that's all I got.
I mean, we can actually kind of dive a little bit into that Mike Santana interview, because that was actually one of the news stories we had here. So, I mean, you already mentioned it. I mean, he was on the No Contest Wrestling podcast.
Yes.
And his full quote with that was, "They definitely weren't jokes. Everybody was straightforward and pissed off, especially the original core guys like me, Eddie Edwards, Moose, Kazarian. We were like, yo, we have to change this. You don't like to listen to what other people are saying, but that kind of gets to you. I feel like the best thing that came out of it was it motivated everybody. The fire that was lit backstage was, we ain't popping off like this. This is not happening. We all
Agreed.
banded together and we're like, we have to do something about it." That's when everything started to kick off and we started making more moves. It just motivated the hell out of everybody. So it's good to hear that, like, yeah, it did piss everybody off, understandably so, because yeah, you just kind of have NXT running rampant and being top dogs when it comes to like their partnership with TNA. So it's good that, like, they weren't like, all the TNA stars didn't really feel bogged down by that. They actually used that in a more positive way to kind of like push themselves to be like, hey, we're still here. We're TNA, not Trick Williams, not Kalani Jordan, us. Like the Mike Santanas, the Ashes by Elegance and all that stuff, even though
The
she
moves as well.
used to be, yeah. But like, even though she used to be WWE, signed with TNA, all that stuff. So like, it's good to see that, again, more positive outlook with it. But Drop, did you have any comments on Mike Santana's words here, since you're also like one of the bigger NXT guys on our team?
So when it comes to that, I mean, I can definitely understand where he's coming from, because at first it was supposed to be one of those things to really help out both people, but it kind of seems like it's leaning in the opposite direction. So it makes sense why he would feel that way. It makes sense why other people would feel that way. And I can't really say I'm surprised that they feel like that, because I sort of felt like that was going to happen anyway, given what they were doing. Because we already know what the end goal is with this whole entire partnership thing. It's only a matter of time before we get that official confirmation, and then you see it on X when it comes to what WWE's next move is going to be and everything. But I don't blame him for feeling that way, because any person in a company that is representing a company that wants to fight for those titles and do what they need to do in order to be a champion and everything would, feel that way. It's just it's a normal feeling for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's just good that it's on the more positive end of these feelings, of these emotions going forward. Because hey, everybody could just be pissed off and want to leave the company. That's also something that could definitely happen. But yeah, okay. So Vash, anything else you wanted to mention during your little turnbuckle tidbits here?
Nah, I don't got nothing else to bring up.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, what about you, Drop? I know, again, we've all been busy all this week, so we haven't really been able to catch too much. But Drop, was there anything that you wanted to mention that maybe caught your eye through the week that you saw before we came onto the show tonight?
The only thing I would really have to say is probably the whole like NXT stuff. Like, I'm really hoping that they start getting things together, because I'll be honest, I miss NXT this week. I didn't really feel like I missed
Mhm.
much anyway because it's always the same thing happening on that show. So even if I miss it one week, I already know what happened because it's basically the same formula. It's rinse and repeat. It's very vanilla. So I mean, they have their good period sometimes, but then they also just don't know what they're doing with themselves. They always dig themselves a hole, and I'm really hoping they have some sort of game plan because you notice on like the main roster shows they're struggling when it comes to like how to incorporate these different kinds of storylines or whatever the case may be when
Mhm.
it comes to using talent. And they have talent right there. They're supposed to be prepping for the future. And I can't really say I see anything that different given, the same formula that they're doing all the time over there. So if you really want people to take those people seriously and they're not coming up to the main roster and being put on the back burner, I'm really
Mhm.
hoping they figure out exactly what they're doing because they did good like earlier this year, but then all of a sudden just seems like they're just too safe, which is
Mhm.
it's a common theme that we've been talking about quite a bit when it comes to our shows, not just this show, not just Monday's show, but just in general in 2025 when it comes to WWE. So it's like
Mhm.
sometimes really hard for me to get connected to the product just because it feels like I'm not seeing anything different.
If
Yeah.
I can ask towards that, it kind of relates towards NXT. Like they made an announcement, so I'm really curious to see how you guys feel. How do you feel about Joe Hendry and Thea being a mixed tag team? Because it threw me off. I just don't see the like. This is good for Thea, but I feel like Joe Hendry don't need this. This is just to have something for Ethan Page and for
Mhm.
Chelsea Green. But for Thea, like this is good for her. I don't remember her most recent storyline, but she's been kind of inconsistent this year on TV. So I'm really curious to see how is this gonna go well, like with Thea and Joe Hendry. Like I don't see the
Yeah.
need for this for Joe Hendry, but for
No.
Thea, I'm like, I guess, sure.
Yeah,
Um.
personally to me, oh sorry.
Yeah. No, no, no. You're fine. Go ahead.
Personally to me, I don't care. I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't care. I don't really see how it benefits either of them because I
Mhm.
mean the whole thing with Thea Hale, she was supposed to go from like a funny person to have that serious to her character, which was the arc that she was going down in NXT. And it just seems like
Mhm.
that's non-existent now, and now she's going back to her old gimmick because it was working very well for her when she was actually, still herself, hyperactive and everything, but also taking things seriously and actually learning to level herself up so she's able to get to, to be able to get to the next spot that she needs to be because if they were really utilizing her properly, they could be having her going up against like the mid card title there, eventually the main title
Mhm.
down the line. But it's the problem that I have with certain characters where it's like I see a lot of potential in them. They get used as memes so much. So it almost feels like whatever they do, it's not going to make a difference because nobody's going to take them seriously. She is very talented
Right.
and she can go a long way. And the whole Joe Hendry thing, I mean, I'm starting to feel the same way about him that I feel about Jey Uso, where it's like the way that they
Mhm.
utilized him before, it was fine because they used it when it was right. It didn't feel forced or anything. Now it's feeling
Yeah.
forced because whenever somebody mentions his name on that show, they always have to make a joke out of it. And I get it, that's the stick, but at the same time, you keep doing
Mhm.
that over and over and over again, and you're trying to have like a serious segment, or you're trying to just really take whatever that character is going through, if they're in a storyline or they're going after a belt or something seriously, it's just
Yeah.
really hard to get behind it. Like that's why I sometimes like debate if I want to watch NXT or not because it's literally like you press a button on a keyboard and it's literally the same thing. Somebody's like, "Oh, I better not mention his name," and then he appears. I just don't find it funny anymore. When something
Mhm.
happens every once in a blue moon, you'll get that good laugh. But if you see it over and over and over and over and over again, it just becomes very
Yeah.
repetitive.
Yeah, it's a lot like, when you go to the beach, you rip your pants and everybody laughs and you're the butt of the joke, but you enjoy being the butt of the joke because of it. And then you just continue to rip your pants the whole afternoon at the beach and it ends up just not getting funny and then you have to sing a beach song to make everybody happy again. So I don't want Joe Hendry to have to go down to the beach down there in Florida and sing a song just to get everybody happy again. So I
Hmm.
I get I get that with like the whole diminishing return kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Yeah. At least they did try a little bit with it where they were just like, because Joe and Thea are challenging Ethan and Chelsea for the AAA mixed tag titles. So I don't know if I doubt they're gonna win him because Chelsea and
Oh yeah,
Ethan
I doubt
just
it.
won
Too, yeah.
those, and I feel like
Yeah.
this is gonna be a way for them to maybe hopefully transition Ethan to the main roster, but that also means gutting NXT from some top male talent, which yeah, you guys have heard us talk about that in the past too. Like NXT kind of has an issue when it comes to like their male talent and how there's not really good top tier echelon. That's why people like Trick Williams are still down there, is because they kind of need it. But we'll see what happens with that. At least with Joe, like Joe Hendry, I see his spot here more just like, okay, this is like one of those paying your dues kind of thing where it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you just got to get through the storyline and move on to the next thing and just keep kind of building your thing up because he's NXT now. Like he's not TNA and NXT or like
No.
TNA dipping his little big toe into NXT. Like he's NXT now. You know, that's why they keep hammering in the whole like say his name thing. So, but again, that's WWE in a nutshell, trying to keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. But drop anything else you wanted to mention.
No, that's pretty much it, honestly.
Okay. The only thing I want to say, because again, very busy, very mind numbing week for me when it comes to work. So I didn't really feel up to watching much of anything outside of what we normally cover. But when it comes to Dynamite, though, oh, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm curious about this. I really
about
want to
to-
hear this.
we're about to get into some stupid shit. Oh my gosh. So, Dynamite. The biggest thing to come out of this is Tony Khan had a huge announcement, everybody. They are adding another championship into the AEW roster, known as, now sit down, folks, get ready for this name, the National Championship.
Wait
First of
a
all,
second.
I'm not upset with the name. However, because there is an asterisk with it. But let me just read off this source from AEW themselves. So Tony Khan announced that a casino gauntlet match will be held at Full Gear to determine the first champion. The belt will be defended internationally and across multiple promotions, including ROH and New Japan Strong. So, okay, cool. You're making a new title that's going to be going internationally. Wait a minute. International. Wait a minute. Didn't we just have a fucking title called the international title?
Yeah.
Where they would take the title and defend it everywhere else. They had another title called the Continental title, where they
That's what the one I was
would
gonna bring you up,
bring
yep.
it up wherever they wanted to go. And guess what, everybody? Back in August, they merged those two titles together to create the unified title. Because, hey, they realized, oh, shoot, we have like so many titles. Let's consolidate two of them and move on with our lives.
So then 8 weeks later,
Why? Just why? Like that's what I want to know. Just like why? What is the reason, Andy? Like, why did you have to like I just don't get it. Baffles me. It seriously baffles me. It's literally a participation trophy. That's all AEW keeps creating is participation trophies for people to get. And that annoys the shit out of me. And it'd be one thing if they actually like separated their rosters for like Collision and Dynamite and was just like, okay, you know what? You know, the unified title is strictly on Collision, but you know, you need the males mid-card title too. Okay, the national championship. Cool, neat, awesome, fantastic. We can split those up, have, you know, the main world title and the TNT title on Dynamite. Cool, great, awesome. That's how you can, you know, split it up a little bit. But no, they have not only all their AEW championships there are championships from anybody that is in any other promotion, Mercedes money, their world title, their TV title, their women's title. I think there's a women's TV title, the trios title, the tag titles. Like there's just so many freaking championships in AEW. And I'm just sitting here thinking, what in your bright mind would give you the great idea of like, hey, you know what will really freshen up our product? Another title. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like, because again, it just feels like a participation trophy at this point. Like it just feels like something for people to get just to be like, oh look, I got a title. Isn't that great? It's a title. It doesn't add any prestige to it. And apparently, like Tony Khan's reasoning behind it was like, oh, I'm a big fan of NWA, and they had a national championship, which the current national championship for that promotion actually did tweet out and be like, hey, I'm the real one. None of this BS going on. Again, that's just an abridged version of the guy's tweet. But again, it just baffles me. Like, you could do anything else with your product, anything else to make it feel fresh again, and you choose to just add another trophy, to add a little blue ribbon for people to get. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get like the reasoning behind just adding another title. It just makes no sense. Like, it's one thing again to have like your Owen Hart Foundation title, because fine, whatever, because that's just like a little prop because you won the tournament. That's fine. You're not defending the title. It's just there to look pretty and be like, I won this year. Fine, whatever. But this is a title that's going to be defended. And I think the other thing that just baffles me, you literally had this concept not 4 months ago, barely 4 months ago. It's just it's dumb. It's really stupid. And I'm just sitting here like, can you all just fight for money again? Just fight for money. Like I'd rather watch a match that's the stakes or whatever. Enough of my long-winded part of it though. Drop what did you hear about this before coming on the show tonight? And I guess what are your thoughts with it? Like, God.
So yeah, I did hear about it. I didn't watch AEW because I don't really watch it. I only hear from either you or people that I follow online that cover the shows and everything. That's usually how I get my information there. But that they should have never merged the titles or did what they did prior if they were going to do something like that, because they already had that there. They just got rid of it and then they brought it back. So it doesn't really make any sense in the slightest. So I don't really understand why they're making all of these random decisions that like make no sense at all. Because it's like, why are they going to keep adding more titles? Why are you going to keep repeating the exact same things you did prior? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't really get excited about it because there is nothing to be excited of. It's just a stupid, reckless decision that does nothing. And you could have just left it alone. You could have just, focused on what you have. But now we got to incorporate another title again for whatever reason. I mean, you might as well just get rid of that TNT championship and all these other titles. Because I mean, that's the one I can't say that does not get used, and it's pretty meaningless. It doesn't really have that same effect that it did many years ago in the early stages of AEW. But yeah, I mean, just to give you a plain answer, I just find it completely random. It just seems like coming out of left field. Like, don't call it like a huge announcement. It's not really a huge announcement at all.
No. Like again, you're just making a participation trophy at this point.
Yeah,
Like
you are.
it's like you're playing 2K and you decide to make every match a title match, and it just gets boring. Like that's your only stake. Is just another title out of the plethora of titles you have. Like why go for that title? Why go for the TNT title? Like, and I get it, part of it is to say I got it, to earn that prestige and all that. It's just like, okay, that's great, but I can just I don't know. It's just weird.
I agree.
And it just adds nothing. It just adds nothing. Like it's literally like going on YouTube and being like, hey, look, I just made a sub. Yay. I'm gonna make another YouTube account. Hey, look, another sub. Yay. I'm gonna make a third YouTube account. Another sub. Yay. And it's just like, okay, at what point do you like find success in that? Like, I don't know, man. Maybe that was a bad analogy or metaphor. Who knows? But that was basically my turnbuckle tidbits because again, like I've been very busy this week and kind of checked out with a lot of other things outside of what we're covering on our shows and all that. But yeah, I think we can just move on now. I think we've warmed up a little bit. I think we've kind of dove into things that we've digested through the week and all that. So let's go ahead now into our hot topic of the evening because who boy, who boy. So Triple H this week. He was on the Allin podcast and he had a couple things to kind of say on that show and also to say before Monday Night Raw on Monday. So I kind of want to actually, no, I do just want to start with his quote from this Allin podcast where he went on to talk about how WWE shows are not written on the basis of it'll be a great match, but on the basis of the story that can be created. And this is his quote right here from the podcast. Some people in our business take this wrong. We don't write the shows based on that'll be a great match. We write it on the stories that we can create. The protagonist, the antagonist, how does that work with each other? Telling stories that can resonate that maybe they've experienced in their real life, some type of fantastical version of that. And there were some other comments too. I didn't get a chance to like actually find him. He was comparing like WWE to MCU, which if we're gonna be comparing WWE to the MCU, 2025 is Phase 4.
Yeah, it's not the good
Just
part of
just
it.
a whole not the good part of it, like the oversaturated, mediocre at best part of it. Like, god dang. But like I wanted to look at this because it's very interesting quote he says here that like they don't write based on that'll be a great match because like and you know I'll say this about AEW because AEW does that a lot. They give you a lot of these dream matches, a lot of matches that like you crave to see, that you want to see, and that you know are going to be bangers, and you know you're going to be entertained by them. But a lot of the times, people see those matches as like, okay, well, why should I care about that match? Like, other than being a dream match, why should I care? Why should I be invested in that? And that's where Triple H's other comment comes in here, where it's just like, you know, we write for the story, the good guy, the bad guy. How is everything tied in together? What are the stakes? All that stuff. How can we relate to the audience? And it's like you're saying the right things, but the product itself does not reflect on that. And it's like where have you lost the plot, you know? Or is it something where like you're actually not in control, you're just a figurehead? Like because that's kind of what a lot of his comments this week gave me, like that feeling like, oh, he's not really the person like writing these shows or like in control of these shows. He's just the guy that goes up at the front and be like, welcome to Monday Night Raw. We had the biggest gate of the year here in St. Louis, Missouri. Like it's a very interesting just like mindset he has. So Job, I'm going to start with you as we await our visionary to return. What were your thoughts just like kind of reading this quote from Triple H here?
Um, I like the whole point that Triple H was trying to make pretty apparent when he first took over was long-term storytelling. Like he was really pushing that really hard, which is why a lot of people were like really impatient about it because they were like, okay, let's get to it already. Let's get to it already. But then they see what the payoff is, and then they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense why we waited so long to get there and everything. And then all of a sudden, that's like absent. It's like, oh, that doesn't matter anymore. We're just, doing what we really need to do in order to like push the show for tonight. And I'm like, how am I supposed to go on here with Vash and Whawkins and talk about something that's engaging television if that's the sort of response I'm going to be getting? Like, I'm not trying to watch the product for like MCU 2025. Like, if you want to talk about like peak MCU, I mean, honestly, I feel like the way it really was going is like after No Way Home, I haven't really felt the same with the MCU ever since then, besides having a couple good movies here and there. But if you want to talk about an all-time high, that's basically like where it ended for me personally, because whenever the movies came out those years, they were like really good and they were really engaging and they got you excited for what the next step was going to be. That's if I were to make a sort of comparison to that probably would have to be like last year where that died, where you got that No Way Home Endgame thing with WrestleMania 40. That's pretty much where the train started slowing down with that and everything. It's like, I don't understand. It's like you're trying to improve the product, you're trying to make it better. Why are you making all of these, decisions to derail things, to make things feel convoluted, to just, keep people in the back burner, whatever the case may be? Like, why are we doing this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't sound like a smart business decision at all, because what I would personally do if I was in his position and stuff like that, I would listen to the feedback online. I would learn to improve it. So next time when I put out a show, I'll be like, oh, okay, they actually took into what we said and everything, and now we can use that to actually make things better for us. So it's like, we did see that report come out a little bit ago saying, oh, they've heard all that shit and they're gonna try a lot better in 2026. We'll see. I'll just say we'll see. I'm not gonna take it seriously, but I will say we'll see, because we're not in that year yet. We don't know, so we'll see. Because maybe we're wrong, but as of now, we are pretty much on the same ballpark when it comes to a lot of things going on in the company. But it's like, that's just not a healthy mindset to have when you're like running the top wrestling commotion. And when I say that, that's not me saying, oh, well, WWE's better than this or that. No, like they literally are, in terms of longevity, in terms of just basically who they are. So the fact that you're too comfortable where you're at and just putting on mediocre television, I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea to be doing things like that.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Oh, no. It totally does. Because like the company that really came to mind as you were saying that near the end is Disney. Like WWE's literally become Disney right now, where it's just like, okay, when you think of animation, you think of Disney. You'll think of the Renaissance era with like The Lion King and like The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, like all that stuff. So like Disney had its golden era and they had some great bangers. They had some great moments. They had a lot of great stories that they told. And then they started making a shit ton of money, a lot more than probably anybody ever needs in their lives at all. And they started getting complacent because they were just like, hey, we could put out anything and people will go see it. Again, we want to keep the MCU example here. I mean, yeah, once No Way Home was done, yeah, there was a bit of a shift. It did kind of feel like it dipped in quality a little bit because they realized, okay, we just finished like a big story arc here when it comes to our big project, our big MCU universe and all that stuff. And it's like you have this movie where it's pretty much like an epilogue for all of that, which is good. That's a good thing to have. But how do we continue on through that? How do we make things a little better? How do we like refresh everything? And like, yeah, they tried with introducing new characters like, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, the stuff with like Hawkeye and all that. So they tried, but what happened is they didn't try too hard because they were still kind of coasting off of Endgame and being like, okay, well, it's MCU. Everybody's going to go see MCU. It doesn't matter how good it is. You're still going to go see it. You're still going to sit there and watch Thor Love and Thunder because it's Thor and it's Chris Hemsworth. And you love both of those things, right? You do. You liked Ragnarok, right? You liked the comedy in that. How about have more of that, except amped up to 11 with screaming goats throughout the whole damn movie? And god damn, I have never been more embarrassed going to watch a movie than I did watching Thor: Love and Thunder. And I saw that Minions movie that year in theaters willingly. Like, God, I hated that movie. Anyways, that's besides the point. But like, WWE's kind of in the same ballpark here because like we've had shows like the biggest one that comes to mind is WrestlePalooza. Like they were touting it as this big show, and it was big for them too because they were like going on ESPN, they were on a new platform, they were doing this, they were doing that, they had like hype matches. They literally had John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Look what happened to the show. It sucked ass. Horrible show, and horrible to the point where like their own like their own collab with ESPN gave it a C and was just like, this is what we paid for.
Yeah.
Like it's like doing a collab with like let's say me and Drop did a collab about Banjo-Kazooie, talking about Banjo-Kazooie, and Drop's like giving all this knowledge, and I'm just sitting there like, I like turtles.
Yeah.
It's just like, what does turtles have to do with anything about Banjo-Kazooie unless we're talking about like Tip Top? Like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this? Why are you ruining our video here? Like that's where like WWE is right now. It's like they're actively ruining their product, but at the same time they're just like, oh, you'll go see it anyways. You'll pay all that money to go sit in
No.
a in a SmackDown on Halloween night, which I saw some pictures from that, saw some reports on that, saw the ratings for that. Good job, WWE. That show sucked as well for you, didn't it? But Vash, looks like you've returned. I don't know if you've heard us. We started talking about our big topic, our hot topic, if you will, of Triple H's comments about how they don't really write shows based on that'll be a great match, but trying to tell stories. So like, since you're back here, why don't you give us your input? Because like you've worked in the production field, you've seen how these stories, like whether it's from like a commercial that you've worked on or like a short film or anything like that, you've seen how these stories can like start from like the scratch to whatever their final product is. So what's your take on just like Triple H's stance here when it comes to what he said during the Allin podcast?
Triple H has been in a weird funk this year, is what I was saying.
Mhm.
He has been promoting in an interesting way of the product, and I'm not sure if it's coming from him himself or if this is influence from TKO or from Netflix or was being told by his high ups, hey, can you go on the podcast and everything? You should be careful what you say because it will always come back and bite you. And when you're in that line, in the line of battle, meaning like you're literally in the line of press, people literally twisting your words and how you say or not and how you treat it. Like, for example, a couple months ago, like he said, the whole type of WrestlePalooza I gotta see. People were upset at WWE, like, how would they have this public and everything with their first PLE being presented, and this is how low they have it. On top of that, it's like, I think back in July, I believe when we spoke coverage, that Triple H also said, hey, if you don't got nothing good to say, how about just shut up?
Mhm.
That was a bit questionable. Like, how you telling the fans, the critics that are talking or discussing or what the content is, good or bad, you're telling us to not even have a critique or opinion about it? That doesn't bode well. And when you're a person of higher power like this and say, hey, the landscape will change at WWE tonight, and then it seems kind of the same, it seems kind of copy and paste of how most people have felt within the company within this past year, and you don't actually change anything. Like, what was it that changed? Because I saw Monday Night Show, I wasn't on it, on the coverage, but I saw it.
Yeah.
And technically, 2 hours of it, except the last hour. I did see it, and I don't see no landscape changing other than you adding Logan Paul and maybe having CM Punk as champion. But I don't see no big revelation, no big artistic type of stuff when it comes to the writers' room. And it kind of sucks because when you even hear, Karen Cross or you hear others talking about the writers' room, it's like, even if the wrestlers have good idea, they can't chime that in too much because that's not their job. Their job is to perform what they're being told as from the writers to the producers. The writers produce no matter if they don't come up with a good idea, that's what's being used. Even if the wrestlers come up with a better idea, they're not being paid as writers. So at the end of the day, just shut up and work. That's what kind of the environment is. And
Mhm.
because Karen Cross has spoke about some really cool ideas, even once the Delina Vega and Aleister Black came out with their new husband and wife type of entrance, a lot of people say, "Oh, look at the upgraded or downgraded on perspective version of Karen Cross and Scarlett." At the end of the day, you can't really compare no matter what. Or people will always compare because they're husband and wife. People will have like a similar stick of dark, dark and gothic style. That was mostly Aleister Black. Zelina Vega was never like that. So just to see that actually happen, it's like, okay, interesting perspective. So no matter what with WWE right now, there will always be on a hit fire, and they're right now being close eye on a microscope on what they're saying and what they don't say.
Mhm. Yeah, there it's a tough situation because like on one hand you do need to promote your product
Yes.
and you need to hype up your product because if you're not hype about your product, the consumer's not going to be hyped about it, so I get that aspect with it, but like, yeah, you got to do better, like, and I know I sound like a broken record saying this, but it's just like we know you can do better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
You've
sure.
shown us that you could do better. It's just do better.
Yeah. Yeah, because
You
if you
know?
can give us something like WrestleMania 40 and make it a spectacle, something that we can revisit, because that's something I can say is a rewatchable product when
Mhm.
it comes to a PLE, like seeing Cody win the big one, all of those monumental moments happening at that show. Like, that's something I would look at as a victory, something that you could use to really push the needle when it comes to these new stories that you're creating. It's like, we've seen what you can do. You don't have to take the easy route. If you want to do what you did before and actually establish what made things good to begin with, you can do that. So
Mhm.
if all these new things coming out, it almost seems like I'm talking to an entirely different person, because the person that I talked about prior didn't have this mindset at all. He was always somebody who planned ahead. I mean, he's known as the
Yeah.
game for a reason, and normally when you play the game, you know exactly how to play the game. So it's
Yeah.
like knowing how he did things all those years ago for NXT and was pretty much something that people can't really forget about because it was such a monumental moment in wrestling. I still remember when that black and gold was, going up against AEW when it first came out.
Yep.
And they were kicking pretty hard when it comes to the quality of those shows. Like, those shows were always, you want to give it like an S ranking or something, it was like S after S after S after S. Like, that was Triple H in his prime. So it's like going to that toolbox, and I don't know if I'm trying to be competitive with like somebody else and I want to make my product stand out better, I would do the best of my ability. I would
Yeah.
focus. I mean, that's why when we do our shows, one of the things that we say towards the end of our shows, that we say with Grappling with the Week, or we say with our shows like this, feedback is always appreciated, as we're nothing without you guys tuning in. Feedback is, he should look at that feedback and try to improve. He should notice what people are
Mhm.
saying online in order to take that in and switch things around. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. It's okay to take a risk every once in a while.
Yeah. And like it, and we're not saying, listen to every critic
Yeah.
or every critique, because hey, some people have
Yeah,
critiques
pretty
that
dumb
are
ones.
like not what's the term I'm looking for? Um Not in good faith, let's say.
Yeah.
So like you kind of need to filter that out. But hey, you could always hire somebody for that. I'll do it. To kind of filter out, those critiques and all that. I'll do it. $26 an hour and all that. Sydney, go get your treat. I think another thing too is because I'm glad you said something about the focus thing. Triple H has not been focused a lot because he's been making a lot of trips to the White House, which has kind of impeded some of his work with the product because he hasn't been showing up to shows apparently. Like he wasn't there at Saturday Night's Main Event this past weekend.
It's gonna be interesting if how the following couple months will go, because right now there aren't WrestleMania season right now. They're currently writing that, just currently air right now. So if they are currently working on that, it's gonna be interesting what's the next step of Unreal, because I think the next Unreal might be coming out in December or in the first quarter of next year. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting on what's being already worked on for Unreal, what's already being like, hey, Triple H, are you doing your work right now? Are you talking to the writer saying already in Connecticut to make sure that we're all on the same page, or what's going on? Because that's something that has to be, kind of look on.
I agree.
And how do you feel about this drop as well? Like, you feel like are we heading to a good direction? Because like right now, we have Survivor Series coming up next. Then we have the last Saturday Night Main Event tour of the retirement of John Cena. And then we enter
Royal Rumble
Royal
season.
Rumble in
Yeah.
January in Saudi Arabia. So how do you think we're looking right now with the next couple weeks, months with pro wrestling, with Triple H and his booking?
I would hope so, because Survivor Series is your last major PLE for the rest of the year. So I would hope you would have everything in order to execute that very well. So far from what we've seen, doesn't really look that pleasant, but we'll have to wait and see the following weeks to see exactly how they're going to structure things. With the whole John Cena match, like his final match, having this whole tournament set up, I'm hoping that's being taken seriously. It seems like it is, because you actually are looking at it as like winning a gold trophy if you like or first place in a race or something, because it's not like you're throwing, it's not like it's being handpicked or anything. It's literally a competition where all these guys are fighting hard to get that spot at John Cena so they can make a difference that could really revolutionize their career. So looking at it from that microscope, I could see a positive with that. And I'm hoping, since they're promoting this to be a big thing in Saudi and everything, I'm hoping they have their cards straight there, because once they hit January, they got a clean slate there. They could focus on exactly what they're going to be doing heading into the WrestleMania season and where they're going to take things further. So it's kind of a mixed bag right now, if I'm being 100% honest. Like, there's some good, there's some bad. I want a little bit more good, but there's little bits and pieces of good in there. And I'm just hoping they know exactly how they're going to get there, like the proper direction to walk down the road to get where they need to be with that. That's how I feel on that.
Yeah. It's their road right now is very rocky.
Yeah.
And because the other thing you got to kind of keep in mind too is some of their plans did kind of get derailed this year from some major injuries. Like, I mean, when we look at earlier this year, I mean, Kevin Owens' injury, for example, screams in my head. Granted, it gave us a good moment with Joe Hendry at WrestleMania, but Kevin Owens, he doesn't even know if he's going to be back because of this surgery he has to go under. And I mean,
yeah,
what's the other one that like was Seth Rollins just recently,
that's another one, the shoulder,
like with his injury, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. Like, both of those have been like huge stories going on. So just like
we'll talk Naomi as well with her
with her
unexpectancy with her pregnancy,
Yeah.
which still congratulations, but no matter what,
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of things like Whawkins said got derailed for this year. We have Seth, KO, we have also some tag teams are going a bit of the players are going in the single route. We have Elton John, his partner that is out. So we have a few people that are injured that have to make the team a bit smaller. So it just sucks to know that the roster like has so many current injuries right now within the current roster. That's the thing that's, I say, not disappointing, but kind of sucks.
Sorry. I didn't know Elton John was going out there with his piano, bashing people across the face. Nah,
Might
I'm
be.
just poking fun at you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's
you guys
fine,
know
it's
what I
fine.
meant.
It's
You
fine.
guys know
Exactly.
You guys know
Exactly.
who I meant exactly.
I heard that. I was just like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Nah, it's all good. It's all good, dude.
On top of that,
Yeah.
with KO, we also have Liv Morgan. We also
Mhm.
have Chad Gable, who was in his um
El Grande.
Grande Americano and everything. We have Austin Theory that his kind of fell off the map. We don't know what's going on. I know
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about her later, but we also have Bianca Belair that has been missing in action since
Mhm.
WrestleMania of 2025. So it's like a few people that has a good opportunity fell off. The same thing with Zoe Stark. She has a knee injury that who knows. People said that she might return for a Royal Rumble. So like Zoe Stark also has been out since early this year. So we had a few injuries that kind of mess up the storylines or the possible storylines that could have been told.
Yeah. And I think the main thing with all this is the fact that like with Triple H's words here about like with like not writing shows around good matches, which come on,
You
dude,
should.
it's a
You
freaking
should.
wrestling show. But you know that's like saying, oh, that's like Toriyama not writing Dragon Ball around fights. What? It's a fighting manga.
Although,
Of course he's
technically,
gonna.
Battle Shonen overall, like
I
that's
mean,
Battle
yeah,
Shonen to the roster. Like, how do you not
yeah,
write fights within your arc? And
yeah.
it's like that. Oh my god, you just brought that up, just got me mad again. Like, how is he gonna say like, yeah, we are a pro wrestling company. So why the fuck do we not tell your fights? You literally have Tony Khan during Dream Fights after Dream Fights every 6 months or every 2 weeks. But you cannot write yourself. Oh, people would love to
Yeah.
see a Trick Williams, a Carmella Hayes WrestleMania 5 years from now. Hey, why don't we build up to that? Why can't we build Carmelo Hayes? Hey, let's get Trick Williams. Hey, let's make sure our NXT roster is canon to the actual
Yeah.
main roster. Don't have it feel like, hey, what's
Yeah.
happening with Joe Hendry and Thea is not going to feel important. Hey, what's happening with Ethan Page and Chelsea Green? It does feel important. Let's bring it up on the main roster that the mixed tag team belts that are being discussed on NXT Triple A and Triple A Mania is actually also important on the main roster, but
Yes.
not spoken about it once because hey, it's not for the storyline on the main roster. Storyline importance for NXT and Triple A, but not important line for the two main roster. You have it's just insane. Like when you think about main roster is SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
But then the people under that, we have Triple A, we have NXT and TNA. What would it be so cool if we could include that to main star storyline? You have more people to play with within your playground
Well,
instead of
that's
just
why
saying you don't.
I mean, they kind of do with like the AAA stuff. I mean, hell, Dom is their world champion for AAA right now, you know, and he's a main roster star. You have Chelsea Green, who's half of the mixed tag champions that is also AAA. I can see that complaint more with like the TNA side of it because I would agree with that with like the TNA side, but and with the Tony Khan comment, I don't know if you because this was when you stepped away. Because
Okay,
like
understood.
that's like the whole balancing act that they have to play, where it's just like, okay, you want to have those good matches, you want to have those banger matches, but you got to give us a reason to like want to watch it beyond, oh, that's gonna be a great dream match. I would love to see that. I would love to see Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton right now, but we got to build to it. We got to cook it a little bit to make you like actually want to care and all that. But like the whole crux, like when it comes to like storytelling and wrestling, it's a 50-50 thing, at least for me, how I see it. There's 50% mic work, like that, that's the whole promo stuff, that's the whole interview stuff, the backstage stuff, all that stuff. That's half of it. The other half of that storytelling is the in-ring work, because there is so much you could do inside the ring to tell a beautiful story. Again, like we keep mentioning WrestleMania 40.
Mm.
Sami Zayn versus Gunther was a
That's true.
fantastic story in the ring. Bailey versus Io was a fantastic story within the ring. Like
Yeah.
those 2 matches along with the main event, obviously.
Another example was Sammy and KO versus the Usos for WrestleMania 39.
Yeah, like you could tell great stories in the ring. So that's why like with Triple H's comments here, it just baffles me. Like you can do both. Like you can easily do all of that if you also focus on the in-ring work instead of just the sports entertainment aspect of it. But again, like you had said, oh, they're a pro wrestling company, but if you ask anybody in WWE, no, they're a sports entertainment company. So like they've never gone out of that mindset that they're a sports entertainment company, which I get because that's their kind of product they're kind of trying to make, but you kind of lose the essence of what you are in doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Agree. I don't know why they're so scared to actually have both. Like, why can't you just
Yeah.
take the red pill and the blue pill and have both, where you
Yeah.
are sports entertainment and pro wrestlers?
Yeah. And it makes you not want to spend the money to go out there, which I mean, we keep having them defend their prices and all that, being like, oh yeah, we're moving with the market and all that, which okay.
No, you're
I,
not.
I
That's a lie.
well, I mean, I can get it because like I could just get it from like a business aspect because when you're working at a job, obviously you want to be paid better. How do you get paid better? Well, you have to ask your boss. They have to find it in the funds. If it's not in the funds, they're gonna have to hike up prices wherever they might be. So I get that aspect of it. Plus, they're not doing as many live shows. So it's like I get some of the reasonings behind it. But on the other side, some of these prices are kind of ridiculous, man. Like, and they want to tout, oh yeah, we're still with the families and all that. It's just like, no, you're not. No, you're not. A family of 3 can barely go to an event for less than $2,000, and that's nosebleed sections.
Yeah. I'm a family of 2, me and my wife, and we're trying to go to Madison Square Garden, and I don't think I could go.
You know, like I don't know. I don't know about that. And it's just disappointing, because like again, we know you could do better. So like stop bullshitting us and just do better. Like it shouldn't be that hard. Cause like that's the thing. That's why you got so hot right now. Because you tried. You gave a shit. You like gave us something awesome back in like 2024. And like a lot of 2024 was really good. And even a lot of 2023 and the tail end of 2022. But like, I don't know. Again, something about this year, something about 2025, it's just been something just like not worth the
I'm
money.
hoping I'm hoping
Yeah.
2026 will be better for the product
Hopefully.
within the consuming as well, because this is the first year contract of Netflix, the first year contract with ESPN, Peacock, and this Saturday event. We don't know if Saturday will continue after December. We don't know because their
we
contract
do.
with NBC and everything is done, with Peacock still going. So that's something that only time will tell.
Yeah.
My interesting is that what's next after this year, because any type of contract within the first year of the company is always professional. Now that you're out of the realm, like, all right, cool, first year contract is over. Now what can we do next? Can we go full pro wrestlers? Can we go full sports entertainment? Hey, Triple H, can the handcuffs go off you where they can let you do what you want, or you still gotta meet some requirements that you have been doing over the past 12 months? Okay, that's what I've been kind of speculating, that them trying to meet requirements, all these ads and everything. Cause like, hey, how the fuck are you still on Netflix and have all these ads? But hey, you gotta make your ad revenue, right? Right, Debbie?
Yeah. And plus, Netflix hiking up their own prices, but that's cool. That's neat. Any final thoughts on our hot topic? Because I think we kind of hit like
Yeah, we
a lot
definitely
of the
did.
bigger talking points before talking in circles and all that. But Drop, do you have any final thoughts on the hot topic itself?
No, I think I said enough about what I said earlier, so I don't want to reiterate it too much. I'm
Mhm.
just hoping that things are eventually taken into account so we could move ahead, hopefully for the better, when it comes to what we can see next year. It's like I said
Yeah.
before, next year, kind of got a clean slate there. You could start over, do what you need to do there. So hopefully there's a game plan. If not, and we're
Yeah.
starting to head into WrestleMania 42, there's going to be a lot of issues.
A lot of issues indeed. Vash, any final thoughts on the hot topic?
Can't wait a year from now in November 2020 because can't wait for us to talk about how the year has been for WWE and how are we going to be excited for Saudi Arabia of 2027 of WrestleMania. Are we going to be excited for that? Who will be traveling? Nick Khan believes that he expects people will be traveling all the way from the US and Europe all the way to Saudi just to watch WrestleMania 2027 because that ain't us.
How did Jim Carrey laugh? Yeah, no, that ain't happening. That ain't happening,
No.
Nick Khan. I'm sorry about your bad luck, but I ain't going to Saudi Arabia. I can barely make a trip to Japan, and that's somewhere I want to go. Oh my gosh. But yeah, speaking of places we want to go and things we want to do and want to talk about, we're going to talk about the greater wrestling media. This is how we're going to kind of end our night with some wonderful, lovely news segments. I think one of these segments might have a little bit more for us to talk about, but we're going to start first with our injury corner. Just a few lists of injuries here I'm going to read off for everybody. Tomohiro Ishii suffers a dislocated shoulder at an AEW event. Ooh, that's rough, buddy. Brian Cage suffers some setbacks for his AEW return. This actually has like a little bit more that goes into this. Will Ospreay, he's hopeful to start some light exercises in January, so he's not going to be coming back anytime soon, unlike any other rumors that were going around. Let's start with those three because those are like mainly AEW like centric. So yeah, so going into the Brian Cage setback here, because like the Tomohiro Ishii thing, that's kind of simple, understandable. Hey, hope you feel better, dude, from your dislocated shoulder. I know you got taken out from some shows coming up, but hey, I'm sure you'll bounce back. You're a tough son of a bitch. So there's that. Oh, why are you taking forever to load? Why are you on my manga thing? Sorry, chat. My I lost track of my words right there. Anywho, yeah, there we go. There's my lovely link. Thank you. Thank you for doing things. So yeah, Brian Cage, he was on where was he? Yeah, so he had said this on his Instagram post. I busted my ass and have done everything imaginable to come back as quick and as healthy as possible. That being said, I have some news that nobody would want to hear. There's an issue on the operation I had on my right knee. I was fighting an uphill battle that no amount of therapy, modalities, stem cells, peptides, etc., were going to fix. I have to go back under the knife for them to try to fix or correct the situation. So, yeah, that really sucks. That really sucks to have that happen for your body to get back into health, a healthy situation. Any words you guys have you guys ever had to like have you guys ever had surgery like that before, like had like some sort of weird injury or like some sort of setback like that's just like, okay, I did this thing but now that's caused more issues for me?
Um, Nothing really comes to mind though. Like I haven't really
Mhm.
had as much surgery in my life, thankfully.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Don't want any of those surgeries and all that. Oh man, especially like neck surgeries, because I know that can really mess with people, especially like because that's where like a lot of nerves are, and anything that can go wrong, yeah, you're fucked for the rest of your life. Sorry,
That
everybody.
that's one of the scariest part of being any type of
Mhm.
accident or athlete. I've been an athlete since the age of 5 or 7 years old, and I stopped being an athlete at the age of 22. So it's been a good 5 or 6 years since I've been an athlete, and I could say that
Yeah.
I've never broken or needed surgery. My father has gone through three. Yes, I'm saying three
Ooh.
back surgeries in the lower back from a 9/11 survivor. So he has gone through three back surgeries and literally seeing my father going through the pain and seeing like hearing the doctors like I have to do the English translate to my father to Spanish and understanding like what he goes through, and then me in my head having to process what he went through and then having to tell him what he's going through. It's just very interesting type of dynamic, knowing that like the amount of pain you go through the surgery, the amount of the nerves that could go in damage, because like nerves damage is the type of worst to go through because you can't really recuperate that. You could get fat mass or muscle mass, but nerves is very hard to recuperate and heal from that. And even my wife and me, who experienced a car accident like 2 years ago, she has a bit of not saying nerve damage, but she has like a little nerve pinch on the top of her upper shoulders, and that's her fear to get like a surgery or like injection, because those things you never know the after effects. It could go right or wrong for your body. So that's the one thing. Like the one thing I have not broken, I have jammed and almost broken both of these fingers from my hands because of sports.
Easy. Yeah. Yeah, no, I broke my wrist one time, but that wasn't sports related. I was just playing in the woods and tripped and tried to catch myself because I was little. But yeah, that and some rolled ankles here and there, and a concussion back in high school. That was fun.
Haven't
was
experienced a
great.
concussion. Haven't
Oh,
experienced that.
oh,
I think.
dude, that I mean that's a story for another time. But man, thank God you wear a helmet in football. That's all I'm gonna say.
The one thing
Yeah.
I could say, since it's pro wrestling related, my brother and me used to do moves like any young stupid child kids that will watch pro wrestling, and when they used to not say this, don't try these things at home, me and my brother would. One of the things he would try at home was put the sleeper on me, like literally put you to sleep. The most weirdest sensation is like you waking up out of a sleep paralysis and trying to get your numbness back is the most awkward as shit ever. It's like you trying to get out of the sleep that you just got put in consciously, and knowing that you're out of a daze, out of a numb, and you be like, oh, what the hell happened? Like, oh, I got put asleep. My body feels numb. I feel like I just got hit by a bat on your head, but it's just because you kind of fell. If you're like a pro wrestling, fell hard, or if you're your brother that just drops your head to the ground hard, hey, that's up to you. And it just you feel that numbness, and you just like, wow. So that's the closest thing I will say related to what you just said.
Okay, cool. And I mean, with the whole Will Ospreay thing, it kind of sucks that like he's gonna be out for a lot longer than
Yeah.
I guess they expected. Because yeah, he the fact that he's not gonna be able to start any light exercises or like lifts or anything until January. Damn, dude, that just sucks. Like he's gonna be out for almost all of 2026, I think.
Makes sense because of neck injury, like KO, like Randy stuff. You can't really mess around with that, any type of back or spinal injury, because it could go on the flip side to worse, or it could go to flip side if you take care of yourself. You could be out for 2 years, but then look at you, you come back of extra type of 45 pounds of mass and look like you're broad like as hell. So who knows? Probably Will Ospreay will come back and look at Diesel.
Oh God. Oh man. But yeah, so speaking of being on the shelf for a long time, Seth Rollins confirmed how long he's gonna be out because he was back on Halloween and all that. He made a special appearance on this football show that is escaping me, GMFB, but that's fine. That's whatever. He went on there. He was dressed like a bear because he just loves football. And I'm sure Vash loves the fact that I'm calling it football, but that's besides the point. But yeah, Seth basically confirmed that he's going to be out for about 6 months. And for those of you with calculators at home, that's if not right at WrestleMania,
Yep,
but
right,
right
exactly.
after WrestleMania. So yeah, he might be missing WrestleMania 42, which sucks ass.
It does.
Like that's a huge blow to be missing WrestleMania.
I know he's upset or mad about it, but one thing is that, by the way, I must just guess the name is Good Morning Football Boston. That's my guess of the name. So chat,
Okay.
if you have other suggestions of the names, let us know because I'm just throwing out the random name because I assume it's GMFB. Like the GMF has to be Good Morning Football. That's my guess.
Probably.
B, I assume is Boston from wherever they're placed in the city. That's my assumption. But for Seth saying that he's out for 6 months, I know this man is angry. I know this man is angry at himself. I know this man is angry at the body, the injury. But I love how positive and like he's about it. Like, yeah, I'm out for 6 months and just showing the anger he has about it. At least now people could say he's not faking it. He's not faking it, Chad.
Hopefully.
Oh my God.
Hopefully he doesn't come back during War Games and just like, hey, punk, I'm gonna take my title back.
No, hope not. She
Yeah.
ain't waking up.
What really sucks though is apparently Bianca Belair's recovery is looking rough, and it's looking like she's gonna be back probably early 2026. So that might be a Royal Rumble return for
I can
her.
see it.
I mean,
Which
yeah,
I'm curious, how last time I remember is that she has her middle finger or index finger that was severely hurt. Not sure it was that badly injured for her to be still out this long. I saw the rumor saying that maybe she's pregnant or trying to stay out, trying to hide. That's why she hasn't been on social media for a long time. But then I'm like, if that's the case, they would have probably, I think Montez or Bianca would have announced it because that's something they would be very grateful and happy about because I know Bianca don't have any of her kids. I believe Montez does have a kid with his old partner, I believe so. Or if I'm
maybe.
getting mixed up with a different couple, my apologies, chat. But I saw a report being a rumor. I'm like, cool, congrats for her either way. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, just to see that Bianca's been out this long, I saw in the comments saying that you feel her presence being gone, which is true because Bianca will be in the title scene, but also it will help where like other people could focus on the US title. So like you could tell the presence is gone because other people is picking up the slack and it's kind of forcing the other wrestlers to kind of be on the TV time, but maybe that's why it feels like the same type of vortex for the past 4 to 6 months with a lot of these players. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it could be. Maybe Bianca could come back. It could add the extra flair, the extra spice, the extra whip into it. You get it? Whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Drop any theories why it might be taking a while for Bianca to just come back like this? Because again, like she just broke her. I mean, I don't mean to make light of an injury, but it was just a finger that she injured. But yeah,
Maybe they're waiting for the perfect time to incorporate her into whatever storyline that is, which more than likely is going to be a Jade related thing. You could have
Yeah.
Jade go on her reign, causing a lot of mayhem, and then you're going to have to recruit the one person that's able to stop her. There's already a built in
Yeah.
story. You can easily tell that at the Rumble. Doesn't necessarily need to win the Rumble to tell that, but you could at least have her come back at the Rumble to really start, going the extra mile. Actually, she could potentially win the Rumble because she did win the Chamber this year. I don't really think she's going to win it twice. So you never know that
Yeah.
she might become a 2-time Royal Rumble winner there, make her way to Jade and everything like that. I wouldn't be opposed to it. That's somebody that hasn't been in the main event scene for quite some time. She's just been a tag champion. She's just been a lot of side storylines and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it would definitely be a big pop, especially if Jade's talking a lot of shit or whatever, which she is. And then once she hears that music hit, she's gonna be running for the fences.
Yeah.
I'm the best
Yep.
EST. Let's go. EST, everything.
Yep. So cool. Yep. Hopefully you come back stronger than ever, Bianca. So let's move on now to contract negotiations. I think this first one might have a bit of conversation with it. So Ridge Holland recently, it was announced that hey, WWE's not renewing his contract. He's basically on the shelf because he's still injured. He's still got I think at the time 7 months left for his recovery and everything. But he had some strong words to go about when it came to his treatment with AEW, not AEW, his treatment with WWE right now involving like the rest of his contract. So like he took to X or Twitter. So oh my god, why did I actually call it freaking X? Oh my god, I hate myself for doing that. Mainly because I just saw it on the post here. But like he went to his social media and he had said something about how he felt like he was being hung out to dry and how he was saying that like he had all this physical therapy going on and like kind of quoting his tweet here, I never thought I'd not be able to pay my mortgage. I feel like I've just been hung out to dry after getting injured working for another company on behalf of WWE. Add to that my contract not being renewed, knowing that I wouldn't be able to wrestle for 7 months. This is brutal. Yes, they are taking care of the surgery and physical therapy, but let's be honest, that's the bare minimum after what we sacrifice for the company. Plus the possibility of having to get my neck fused too. Talk about getting totally effed. And this in turn led WWE to go ahead and just terminate their contract with Ridge Holland. Very much a fucked up thing to do, but part of it too is the fact that like Ridge was still under contract at the time, and you kind of shouldn't talk shit on your contractor while you're still under contract. So that's just one aspect of it, but it's just like it's really messed up that they just terminated him. So like, are they not liable to like help with his recovery now because they just terminated his contract, saying it was a breach of it? I really don't know. So I'm gonna kind of go off you guys with this. Like, how do you feel about like this news about like the Ridge Holland situation? Do you see kind of both sides to it? Do you see more from one side compared to the other? Like, how are you guys taking this news that came out?
Would you mind going first? Because I have something to bring up. I'm trying to find
Ooh.
the information. So if you don't mind going first.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to the situation at hand, I I didn't think it was a good idea for him to say things when he was still under contract. Like, yeah, your
Mm.
contract's going to be expiring soon, but at like the same
Wait.
time, you know, making a decision like that probably isn't the best. But I mean, all he can really do at this point is like try to look into the future for him
Mhm.
because they weren't really doing anything with him. Like, I'm just going to be blunt about that. They weren't really doing anything with him. So it's like, even though what he did, he kind of should have done it, but at the same time, it's almost like a blessing in disguise. Now he can just
Mhm.
roam and do what he needs to do. Like that's how I personally feel about the matter. Like, I don't really have much to say beyond that. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
he was never utilized. He was a background character. Nobody really cared to see him on television because of how you present people. That has a big effect on a lot of things. 100%.
Yeah.
I do want to say I found information. So, as what it was announced today, that there's a GoFundMe that has been open to
Yes.
support the family
Yeah, I
of
did see
Luke
that.
Menzies, aka who's formerly known as Rich Holland, and has given the circumstance of his W departure. I want to give a big shout out to Chelsea Green, who will be donating 1,000 monthly to help the father of 3 heal without the losing of everything. If you guys want to find the full quote, go check it out online because it's a long one to speak on. But I just
Yeah.
want to say that Rich Holland right now is having his own type of support. There's people, Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks, Chelsea Green already has had the donation.
Yeah.
AW Kyle Fletcher has also donated 1,000 to support the family. So hey, if you have the chance to assist Ridge or not, at least share it, at least like
Yeah.
it, do the best you can, because if somebody could assist, because no matter what, this person went from becoming a wrestler, aka a superstar, like the word of a sports entertainment company would say, to a regular type of citizen within us people. So at the end of the day, he's a regular person that right now can't meet and me because of a company that want to let them go. So now, if you have the assistance to help, that's the best thing. When it comes to a company, it sucks that you saw this opportunity that, hey, um, we're gonna terminate contract because you spoke shit about us. Understandable perspective is just that, hey, you gotta understand, he's a father of 3, a husband, and dealing with the pride of being a man and trying to pay and have your family not feel stressed. At the end of the day, he's gonna speak shit about his own best friend if he has to, just to make sure that he gets the money he needs to.
Yeah.
So from his perspective, he had to do what he had to do to make sure that he gets the right attention. Did he get the wrong attention? Yeah, the company that worked for him. He's like, yo, all right, cool. You want to speak your shit? Understandable, speak your shit. But now with us still paying you, terminate. That's the worst thing. That kind of sucks. But hey, at least we have the good people around us, the good fandom that could help, and the good people in their position like Chelsea Green and Young Bucks and other people that could spare their extra thousands to help out Rich. So I just want to put that tension where it kind of needs to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, I saw that like as I was driving home tonight. I stuck in traffic and all that. It's like, oh, let's see what's going on here. So yeah, I did see that what you were talking about. And I mean, Chelsea Green just proving yet again why she's one of the best people on the planet, both in and out of the ring. But that's a whole conversation for a whole other time. So yeah, that's the deal with Ridge Holland. It kind of sucks. There are two sides to the coin. It's just be careful what you say online, I guess, is one thing, but also don't be assholes, especially if you have contracted workers and all that. Like treat them fairly, treat them right. So
Union.
yeah.
Let's get them union.
Yep. Drew McIntyre. So we find out just how long his contract is because he did resign with the company in last year in 2024. And thanks to Fightful, we now know that contract goes until 2028. And not gonna lie, he's probably not going to go anywhere else when that contract runs out either.
So I know we don't have this on the docket because I know that somebody, Cody Rhodes, said the same thing about him and his contract, that he'll be signing his last contract WWE. People
yeah.
say, oh, is he going to go back to AEW? Like, motherfucker, why is he going back to the company he left? He already said that this will be the last contract he signed. Like, most likely this contract will just be one that is probably like a 10-year contract or something, or like a long one that's long term. I don't see Cody already leaving or plan to go back to AEW. There's no interest for him to do that. So like when Drew said that, hey, I have about this much left, and Cody, I'm like, all right, cool. These two guys are staying here. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, again, he seems like a lifer with WWE. I doubt they're gonna do anything or try anything to get rid of him and all that. Oh man! But of course, who's interested in seeing the family member of Bron Breakker, known as Scott Steiner? Who wants Scott Steiner to be back in WWE? Because apparently Scott Steiner's open to a WWE return with Bron Breakker, which is very interesting considering like some of the history that came between Scott Steiner and WWE when he left the company and all that. So very interesting that he's at least open to it. I'd be curious what he would be doing if it's like a managerial thing, because I doubt he's getting in the ring anytime soon. But drop, what did you think of this news when you heard it?
That's pretty interesting, especially if he's going to be getting like this big push soon. So that sort of like throws things in the air when it comes to like what sort of plot developments we get with that, because he hasn't really been on active television for quite some time. So knowing that he would come back and do something with Unbreaker is definitely very telling, especially depending on what it is to move the needle this time. So I am very curious to see how that's gonna. It definitely tells me that big things are happening with Bron Breakker next year for sure.
Yeah, and again, I'm just more curious what Scott's gonna do with Bron Breakker. So, I mean, again, it could be a managerial thing, like just kicking Paul Heyman to the curb at that point, or what? I really don't know.
Could be one of those.
I don't really care on my end.
No,
I'm just be honest.
You don't like you some Big Papa Pump?
It's not that I don't care in a bad way. It's just that I don't really like. I'd rather if you're gonna rehire somebody or have somebody in the team, like give somebody some new talent TV time. Right now, Scott Steiner. I don't know. I'm not interested in seeing. Like I feel like I'm seeing Nature Boy on screen. Like I just don't see. I don't need to see those old mans on screen. Like yeah, I have already moved on. Can I get myself some new talent on screen? That's what I'm.
I don't
That's what
think
I'm
it.
here for. That's what
I
I
don't
care
think
for.
it's gonna be to that extent. I feel like if anything, it's gonna be
Yeah.
like a manager type role with Bron Breakker. Probably just be alongside him in promo segments and stuff. I don't see him
Still,
getting
don't.
physically involved.
Still,
Right.
with him even being as a manager role, I'd rather see somebody else do that. Like Paul Heyman, he's fine because he's good at what he does. He's really been doing this. But Scott Steiner, I don't know. No interest at the moment.
But just think about it. We could be getting a math lesson every single week on Monday
Yeah.
Night Raw.
Guess
That's
what?
true.
That could be my bathroom break.
Oh my god. What?
Like
You'll
I said,
miss out.
zero interest.
Oh, come on. You'll just have to bust out your calculator, your scientific calculator, to make sure he's, adding things, subtracting things, dividing things properly. Like, come on. You don't want any of that.
Nope, it'll put me to sleep. Don't care for
Oh
it.
my gosh. This Goldberg stan. I swear, chat. I swear. All he cares
You know
about
what?
is the 153-0 record.
Yep, it seems like it.
Oh, but hey, we got a couple news stories we're gonna hit on before we head on out tonight, guys. I already mentioned the Mike Santana thing, so we won't have to worry about that. We already talked about that during the Turnbuckle Tidbits. But apparently, we have two major WWE stars that are going to be in Zootopia 2. Very interesting time to kind of release this little bit of news because it is coming out in just like the next couple weeks. So, but we don't know who they are. So I kind of want to ask you guys, uh, Vash, I'll start with you. Who do you think the two major superstars are?
I'm gonna say right now, Alexa Bliss being one of them because she has done voiceover work. We know her experience. I forgot what was the last voiceover work she did. I think it was some anime. It was Sakamoto Days, I believe.
Sakamoto Days, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was one of the characters there. So we already know Alexa at least has skill prior to that. Maybe Zelina Vega. I'm just throwing shout outs to the girls. That are the two possible ones, at least Alexa and Zelina being there. For guys,
I think one of them already got confirmed.
oh, one of them they can confirm. I didn't
I'm
see.
pretty sure
any
the
of them
Rock's
getting
the
confirmed.
snake in that.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Oh,
wait, who?
would they consider him as that though? Because
Not
who?
necessarily,
yeah,
but the blue snake that you see in the
Yeah, the blue snake is who?
the main
The Rock.
character.
The Rock? Oh, the blue snake is the Rock.
Yeah, I mean, he does count as his own person, but if they want to especially coming from Cultaholic, if they want to label it that way, he sort of fits in that category.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that, but yeah, I don't know. Drop, do you have any theories who the two could be?
I mean, Alexa Bliss makes the most sense, even the comment section saying that. So that one seems pretty safe to say there. But if I were to throw another name outside of that, that would be interesting. Maybe Liv Morgan. Maybe Liv Morgan
Ooh,
is one of those
that's not a
that'd
bad
be
shout.
that'd be interesting to see if she's been doing anything else behind the scenes outside of her recovery. Maybe this is something that she, took in because she she's been doing a lot of other things like getting herself involved in movie roles and stuff, so you never know if that possibly led her down a direction like this. So that's what I'll say for the ladies. And then outside of what I said before, the only other one I can think of that would be pretty amusing is Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Oh, Drew McIntyre would be hilarious.
Yeah.
No
Like,
lie.
he could
I
play
saw
like a
that too.
goat or a sheep.
Yeah,
That'd be hilarious.
would fit
So
Like
really
this
well.
big buff sheep or something.
So what's funny? I'm staring at the cast right now of Zootopia. I don't know what's with this cast. This cast threw me off. I have Ki Guang Wan, Shakira. We have the guy from Home Alone, Koken. We
Charlie
have
Coken.
Ed
Oh,
Sheeran.
Culkin.
Yeah, we have his wife Brenda Song. We have Idris Elba. this is such an interesting cast.
Yeah.
And then imagine two WWE superstars, which they have blank here for two characters that are not showing, so maybe that's them.
Andy Samberg's in
We
there
also
too.
have Danny Trejo. Like the Danny Trejo, really? That's crazy. The Rock, I don't see him
Oh.
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
Machete's in there?
he's only rumored right now. Yeah, Andy
Yeah.
Samberg's there too.
Andy Samberg
Nice.
is there as well, so I love that. Interesting
Okay.
cast, I would say.
Yeah.
Interesting cast.
I guess my picks, like, yeah, I would see the Alexa Bliss one for the female pick. If I had to pick anybody else, well, this is kind of a duo, and it will be kind of messed up too. What if it was what if it was Karrion Kross and Scarlett?
I mean, yeah. Dude,
That
they
would be
already
funny.
have some
Oh!
like they already have something that's been like nominated too. So
Yeah, I was just about to mention that it's not in the news, but congratulations to them for their documentary to get nominated for the 99th, I believe, Academy Awards in their docu-series category. So congrats. I'm not sure if I named
even
the
see
right
that.
year. Yes, that
Yeah.
actually got said by him or some wrestling outpost. I forgot what year of the Academy Awards. I'm not sure if we passed number 100 yet or not. But
Okay.
either way, congratulations for them being nominated. Thank you, John, for mentioning, because I was very happy for them. So congratulations for that, because it shows that he's having a good year. Also, Scarlett right now has some few roles that hasn't been announced yet. So who knows? Maybe this is one that's actually been on the works. That's a good shout out, because I remember
Yeah.
in Chris Into, she said, yeah, there's a few things on the works. I just can't yet mention them. Maybe this is one.
Yeah. If I went the other couple route too, because the one, well, I mean, both of them kind of disappeared just for like a week or two or three. CM Punk and AJ, they could also be in it too, but that's more of a long shot.
I'm about to say that's a long shot, because AJ
Yeah.
does.
But-
she has done some
Mhm.
acting, but
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't know if she has done a bit of voiceover recently. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah. The only other ones would be the Miz. Just because it's the Miz.
that would fit
like,
too.
all right.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be shocked if John Cena also does it, because he has done a few voiceover. It was, I believe, John Cena did something with Kevin
Yeah.
Hart or The Rock back for the DC Super Pets, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, he started his own animated movie about being a bull, not wanting to do a bull fight. Looking at you,
Yeah,
Ferdinand. Yeah,
I remember. Yeah, good one.
Oh, man. But speaking of, deep cuts when it comes to things, hey, AEW's Darby Allin and Tony Hawk have received approval to build a skate park in Henry County, Georgia. This is really cool. I like this. I just hope that Darby Allin doesn't put like some death traps in the skate park. So hopefully everybody is safe skating in the park. But I mean that's just really cool. I mean, I know Tony Hawk doesn't do too much lately, except for like, cameos here and there, and like, just
I don't think he needs to. It's
racing
Tony Hawk. Like,
he really
like
doesn't. I mean, he
that's
still
a household
skates, but
name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Like his name is Tony Hawk. Like, you know who that is, no matter what generation you're from. Like, if you don't know, like that's like Tony Hawk is like the Michael Jordan of skating. Like that's the household name. If you don't know Tony Hawk, you believe under the rock. So Tony Hawk working on Darby Allin, to me, is like a beautiful dream come true for Darby, and for him to do something like this, skateboard park and everything. I do agree that I'm sure Darby won't actually have like any type of death traps in the park. I'm sure that he will have like probably a section for those crazy skateboarders. Probably like, hey, if you want to do some crazy stunts and think you could do it, then here's what we will build for you in this little small corner. That's my hope. Don't try to do it for like, hey, if you're crazy, everyone could be here. No. Like try to separate it for the regular kids that could do these simple tricks and wheelies or whatever wheelies things names for it. Guys, I don't skateboard, so I don't know the terminology, but I'm just trying my best out here. But then this other corner far away, you could have it for the dangerous kids. I'm sure Darby will be smart on that, and I'm sure somebody will advise him on that department.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, him and Tony are probably working close with it. So it's just really cool to see them collab like this. Drop any thoughts on this potential Darby Allin skate park with coffins and spikes at the bottom of the pits.
Good luck. I mean, that should be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Knowing how insane both of these guys can go. Oh,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just don't make a half pipe on Mount Everest. You already tried to
they
do a
might.
kickflip and oh my gosh,
Maybe that's where
he
they're
might
gonna
actually
build
do
the
that.
park.
It's on the highest peak in
Yeah.
Georgia right now.
Yeah.
Imagine you somehow you just have a skateboard ramp from the highest peak of the forest of the park, and you have to reach to the bottom. You just have to run through.
Oh, that'd be great.
Mm.
That'd be an
Uh,
adrenaline rush.
but hey, you know what else is great? You know what else just gets the blood pumping with that good old adrenaline? We've reached the end of our show, everybody. So yeah, without further ado, we talked a lot about things from our hot topic to some of the news stories we had, some injury stuff, some fun little contract little things, and even some turnbuckle tidbits for all of you lovely people out there. But again, we've reached the end of our show, so thank you for joining us with all of that. But unfortunately, I am just a humble
Oh,
man. I'm a
I
horrible
gotta go.
person.
BRB.
Oh, he's got to go. Okay. Well, yeah. What great timing that he has to go right now. Fine. No, you know what?
I'm
You know
kidding.
what?
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I'm
hmm
kidding.
Yeah. No, you're contractually obligated to sit there
Oh,
in your
contract.
seatbelt, in your locked chair, because because I'm bad at this. I am bad at doing the good little plugs of where you can find us, where you can listen to us, because we do more than just wrestling content. We talk more about other things and other content, other media that comes out. So, Vash, why don't you tell the lovely people out there where they can find us and listen to us and talk to us?
Well, Chad, while you have here us rambling for the last hour and 39 minutes of our show. We appreciate you for checking us out on this podcast of Grappling with the Week for this episode 34 of the show, where we're talking about pro wrestling, how's it been going, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because we appreciate you giving us our feedback down in the comment section down below. Like the stream as well, or if you're hearing the audio feed, like as well the audio, wherever you listen on Apple, iHeart, Podbean, wherever audio feed they may be listening to. We appreciate the support as well by giving a review. If you guys like our social media and what we're putting out there, as well, comment down below on the Weebs of the Ring social, and as well Animal Weeb Studio with a 3. We can at our social on IG, TikTok, and Twitter, not the X. Lastly, if you like our personal content like Drop This Box has, go check out his personal content. He has a lot of things coming out on a weekly basis. In addition, if you like unboxing, there's another unboxing coming out from Legendary Vash. There's more content coming out on a daily on the short form side. So we appreciate all the support from everyone, and thank you for checking us out. And check out our Discord in the comment section below to join if you guys want more conversation, like Stranger Things episode 2 and 3 of season 4 might be watched for after this show. So maybe go check that out, chat. We appreciate all the support and tuning in here with us.
Thank you for those lovely plugs, plugging every little outlet with its AC adapter. But of course, as always, people, we're going to take some time to thank you for listening to Grappling with the Week. Before we head out, as always, be sure to follow us on all those social media platforms. We are known as Weebs of the Ring on all those platforms. Be sure to also use that lovely hashtag Weebs of the Ring. Great way to interact with us before, during, or after these shows. And like Drop said earlier during our conversation piece, it's a great way to give us feedback because we're nothing without you guys tuning in, and we love to continue upping our game and making this product even better than it was the night or the stream before. Grappling with the Week is presented by Movie Studio. Thanks to our production team for all of your hard work. Thank you for joining us, and a special shout out to Stu. Buddy, you're reaching the end of the line when it comes to your time with John Cena. Hopefully, you're not getting too emotional. I know I'm going to be an emotional wreck come December 12th in DC, but hey, we'll come to that road where we cross it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a good night. Have a good rest. Have a good morning whenever you're listening. And we'll see you on the next episode of Weebs the Ring as we talk about the good old smack, diggity, Down.
And he met December 13th.
Tomato,
December.
tomato.